imagine that, you know, you're told that, you're going to be participating in an event, and there's going to be somebody recognized, right? There's going to be somebody who's going to be honored, celebrated, and, you know, they are what the event is about. They are the main event. They are, the, you know, the one who is going to be exalted, essentially, right? They are the one who's going to be lifted up, and you're told that your part in this event is to set up a table, right? You're going to make sure this table is dressed very nicely. You're going to set up the decorations of the table and things that, are in light of this one who is going to be honored, right? You're going to, make this table look the very best that you can to point to the one that's going to be honored. Now, when you come into this, and you're already set with this knowledge, you have no problem with that. Like, you're going to be a part of those who are rejoicing and are, giving applause. You're going to be one who is going to be, speaking of the utmost, honor and glory of this one, right? You're going to be one who's going to be a part of that group, right? You have somebody over there, you have somebody who's going to be watching the door. You're going to have somebody who's going to be ushering people in to find their seats. You're going to have somebody out there, maybe some people out there doing concessions, so that they can be refreshed, and, no distraction, so that the honor can be given to this one, right? Like, you would have absolutely no problem, because you are already set up in your mind in this particular event that it's not about you at all whatsoever. It's about the one who's going to be honored. So all of your work, all of your labor is to highlight that one who is to be honored, right? Like, that is your whole job. That is what you are put in position to do, right? You're not worried about what the concessions, are doing. You're not worried about what the door greeters and ushers are doing. You're not worried about what the people who are controlling the light, pointing and highlighting that individual are doing. You're not worried about that. You're doing your part. You're doing the very best you can for the honor to be pointed to that one, so that all eyes will be directed to that one, right? And so it would make it easy, right? It would make it easy, because that's just what you're there to do. That's what you are fully, instructed. You are fully made aware of your call in this position. Make sure that this table looks the best it can to honor the one we are honoring, right? And so you're not trying to stand out. This ceremony, this event is not about you. You're not trying to make the table look so good so that people will recognize you as such an amazing table setter, a table decorator. That's not what you're trying to do. No. Your whole heart is, well, I want to make sure that in whatever case, everything about this table says that this individual is supposed to be honored, right? That nobody even thinks about me. They're not thinking about the table decorator necessarily. This is in your mind, okay? This is your heart. That nobody, you're not looking that people would think, oh, what an amazing table decorator. Wow, we need to find out who this table decorator is, and we need to lift this table decorator up. We're not thinking that way when we're doing the table decorating, or the concessions, or whatever, maybe it's parking lot duty, to make sure everybody can get in safely get in properly, get in orderly, and everybody can have a, an easy passage from the parking lot into the building and from the door to the seat, so that the honor can be strictly upon this one of whom the event is about, right? Well, in this case, that one is Jesus, right? This honor, this event of honor, this ceremony of celebration to glorify this one individual is Jesus. And our work has only to do with Jesus in our heart and mind, right? We're pointing to Him. We're not afraid of Him getting honored, right? We're not worried about it. It has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with you. It has to do with Him. The concession person isn't thinking, oh man, I want to make sure that at the end of this, that I am highlighted. They're going to highlight me for how good I refreshed everybody. The door greeter's not going to say, I'm going to stand here and put on the biggest smile and say the kindest welcome, so that at the end of all this, or as they come in, they say, wow, that is an astonishing door greeter. There's no door greeter like that door greeter. The usher isn't gonna think, oh, they're gonna always remember me for what I did. No. The whole point is we want to make sure that when people are coming in, it all is pointed to Jesus. And at the end of it, like, you made yourself so invisible in your work to point to Him that He sees you. He's the one who recognizes you. Because it wasn't about you being recognized. It was about Him being recognized, and that was your whole heart. Therefore, He will recognize you, because you represent Him. Amen? So, let us do what we do to point to Him. To point one another to Him. Not looking for the honor and glory for ourselves. Our importance is in Him. The importance of what we do is to point to Him. Not to try to show everybody how important we are. That's not the goal. The goal is Jesus. The goal is for our eyes to be upon Jesus. That's the only salvation we have. And He is the one who is worthy. Amen. So God bless.